This is John T for the Boxing Voice, and I'm joined this afternoon by English heavyweight champion Fabio Wardley. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. How's things, mate? How are we doing?
Yeah, really good this end. What you been up to? At light training or?
Yeah, some light training. Still in the gym. Still active. Still doing the same old things. But just ticking over. Just ticking a few extra little boxes, sorting a little few niggles and things out of my body. More of a kind of easing, rehabby. How it's been for the past kind of month or so.
Excellent. Well, we haven't had you on since the last fight. I think we had you on the week before. Another fantastic win. That's 12-0 now with 11 stoppages. How was it? Was it easier than you thought? Did you think you might get a few more rounds?
Yeah, I definitely expected a few more rounds. That was the game plan we had. That was kind of the whole way we designed that fight to go was to go kind of 3 or 4 rounds and kind of not ease our way in, but settle in and kind of start picking and moving. But Nick himself came out strong, like we knew he would, and he was picking up quite a bit of head of steam, and he was letting some shots go, and his confidence in the fight was building. So I made a decision on the fly that I felt like I needed to meet that a bit, kind of put a stop to that. The actual plan I had in my head when I was going through it was to just lay in 3 or 4 or 5 big shots, let him know that they're there, just give him a bit more to think about on his way in, and just make him kind of reconsider what he's doing and just had a bit of hesitation into his work. But some of those punches landed pretty clean, landed pretty well. So I just followed through him and kept going and got him out of there.
Again, I mean, is it a bit frustrating for you? Because it looks amazing to the fan. As I said, you've had 12 wins, 11 knockouts. I think it's only the first fight, which was your debut of 4th round, that you haven't had a stoppage, that you're not getting more rounds under the belt so that you're learning a little bit more on the job?
Yeah, it's half and half, isn't it? It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, because it's always great to get a good win and get out early and get done and dusted and not too much wear and tear on your body from the fight and all the other good things that come with it. But at the same time, it is something I want to get done. I need to get done sooner or later. Like I need to get through those later rounds and stuff. So we just have to keep pushing, keep getting different types of opponents, people who pose different questions who are difficult in their own right, whether they're bigger, stronger, more durable, whatever it is. We just need someone who's going to last a bit longer in there.
So any ideas who that might be next or when?
In terms of when, I'm done for the year. So I won't be fighting again now until next year. Like I said, I'm taking these last few months to just sort myself out. I've had a few kind of reoccurring injuries that I haven't left alone because I haven't been able to sort out because I've just keep going back to back to back. Like I've had a real busy couple of years of just constantly fighting, or if I'm not fighting, I'm in camp one way or the other. So I'm just going to give myself a bit of a rest. In terms of who, again, not really sure. I'm not really looking right now because the landscape changes so quickly and so often. Like one person wins, one person loses. You can make a plan now, and then in 3-4 months, when I am looking to get something booked in, they could be in a completely different position, and it might not be the same fight it was a few months ago. So come the new year, we'll assess the scene, see what's going on, and we'll pick from there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It sounds like you need a well-deserved break anyway. And hopefully come the new year, who knows, you might get a shot at the British title. I know you defended that English title, or at least maybe an international title. Well, good luck with the rehab, mate. Right, while we've got you, massive fight week this week, obviously. AJ against Usyk. Interviewed a few experts this week, including yourself. Divided opinion. I thought most people were going to be sitting in the AJ side, if I'm honest, certainly in England. What's your thoughts on the fight? Who do you think will win?
It's a difficult one to call, really is. There's just so many kind of odd factors to it of what could play out, how it could go and stuff. And I've always said that when Usyk first moved into heavyweight, I always thought like he was going to be a real serious problem. And I'm not saying I'm completely against that idea now, but some of his performances at heavyweight have been they've left us a bit wanting. They've not been the same and as dominant as they were at cruiserweight, which kind of says that maybe that adjustment period is slightly more difficult than he anticipated. And then once you get in there with someone like Joshua, who is a big guy, who's obviously very comfortable heavyweight, operated there the whole time, but he's got his own things as well, where he's in that stage where he's trimming off a lot. I've seen like a lot of people have seen photos and stuff of him. He seems like he's lost a lot of weight, and he understands the kind of fight he's in for with Usyk, that it's going to be a very tactical battle. It's probably going to go the distance as well, so he needs to be prepared for that. But in terms of which way it's going to go, I would edge it to Joshua, but not by much at all, really. But I'd just edge it to him just because I think size will play a factor. Definitely, I think if he can stay consistent with his jab and keep him at range and keep him at bay kind of thing, and just offset him a lot of the time, I think he'll do quite well with that.
So do you think that he will win it on points and maybe outbox him? Or you've mentioned the size. Do you think he may stop him at some stage in the fight?
No, I don't think he'll stop him. I think whoever wins, whichever way it goes, it would definitely be points to me. I just don't see Joshua landing that cleanly to someone who is as elusive as Usyk is, because he's just, the way he flows and moves around the wing is just so, he's never a still target. He's always bouncing, bopping, moving. His head's always off center. It's always left and right. He's just always on the move. And I think it will take, to actually properly get him, there will never be a point where Usyk's flat-footed enough for you to just land one big punch and hit him clean. So you may hit him with a good shot, but you'll need to hit him with 3-4 of those to really get him going. But I don't think you'll be able to, just because he gets on his bike so much and he's so good with his feet.
Fair enough. So AJ on points by the sounds of it from Fabio then. Good shout. While we've got you, obviously a couple of weeks later, we got the trilogy, Fury and Wilder. Some people are saying, oh, do we need a third fight? Personally, I'm quite excited by it. I thought the first one was close and it was a bit controversial. Second one was very dramatic and one-sided. What do you think will happen in this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same story. I really do. I think Fury's got his number. And I just think, even though with the camp switch up and with the adjustment in Wilder's team and everything else, I just think that it's too late in the day to be trying to reinvent Deontay Wilder into this whole new style that Malik Scott is going to want him to try and box. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'm saying it's too short a time period. It's too big a fight. It's too big an occasion for you to come out of just however long you've had to do that and then think you can jump into that fight, the new reinvented you. I just don't. It takes a lot more time, a lot more honing. You need to kind of practice that under the lights and then go into something big. I think it's too short for that to work. I think he'll stick to that game plan that Malik might have for him for a round or two. But once Fury really steps forward, steps on him, those kind of natural instincts of how he always used to box will then just take over. And I think Fury will get him out of there within 6.
So a similar outcome there then. And I know I've asked you this one before, but if they do both come through from a British point of view, it's certainly the fight that all the fans want to see. If it happens late this year or next year, who do you think wins it eventually?
Again, I'd edge it to Fury in that one. Again, it's not clear cut to me. It's not an obvious winner. I'd have said a while ago it'd have been a lot more obvious to me when Joshua's old style of him being a lot bigger, a lot chunkier, a lot less fluid, a lot less light on his feet. But you've slowly seen that since the Ruiz loss. You've slowly seen that adaptation of him trimming off a bit of weight, be a bit more fluid with his shots, with his punching, the way he goes about his business, which is great to see. So it would make the Fury fight a lot more interesting, but I still think I'd edge it to Fury.
Good stuff. All right, mate. Well, look, superb as always. Great having your opinion on. We look forward to catching up with you probably near your next fight, end of the year, beginning of the year, and good luck with your recovery.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the video. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows. The list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.